Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the iGPFun Formula 3 series presented by Virtual Racing School. We are here live at Zandvoort for another fantastic round of the iGPFun series. I'm Austin Knight. I'm joined by Marco Bobadera, and you're here live watching Apex Racing TV.
Yes, Austin, welcome to another fantastic round of iGPFun live from Zandvoort. We are in round 9 of the season. Means the end of the road is fast approaching for these drivers, and the fight at the top of the table couldn't be more balanced, because we had, of course, a lead change last week after the troubles for Gavin Petty. Thiago Marteau got his 4th win of the season and jumped at the top of the table with 294 points, but Gavin Petty is still very, very close to 182. Andy Flint, out of sheer consistency, is at 265. Luca Varani, 235. Alex Fournier, 233, your top 5 in the overall championship. So you can see the wins, 4 wins for Marteau, no victories for Petty, no victories for Flint, no victories for Varani, and no victories for Fournier. But still, they are true consistency, keeping in touch with Marteau, who uncharacteristically for him had a couple of off rounds earlier in the season, but now seems to be really hitting his stride. And Austin, before I ask your opinion on the standings, etc., I will also like to point out the standings for the sub 2000 category that we have in this championship, the drivers with a rating down or below 2000, with Martin Devine is leading the way with 328 points over Patrick Rowlands. He's got 276 points. Elvin Cortecas, after a good start of the season, is down to 205, 160 for Massimo De Laurentiis and 153 for Ryan Berry. De Laurentiis and Berry have only started 4 races out of the 8 we've done so far. So Austin, incredibly tight at the top of the table. Today we go at a very twisty racetrack. Thiago Marteau, we know it's sim racing, it's pretend race cars, whatever you want. Racing in front of his own fans at his own track. I'm sure he'll want a bit more the victory that he usually craves and usually gets.
Absolutely, and it's his home track, home fans. In real life, it's the home of the Orange Army. Well, it's the Marteau Army here today. I'm not sure what his army color would be, but I'm pretty sure it would also be orange as well. And Marteau's going to be very happy around here. Hermer currently sitting in second place in qualifying, with Olsen in 3rd, followed by Flint and Giacchino in the top 5. But yeah, home racetrack, Zandvoort, very fun. We've seen some amazing racing around here throughout our years on iRacing too. And, I'm expecting another great race here in the Formula 3 series.
Nice to have Tobias Olsson back after a couple of rounds off. Of course, we cannot forget his win at Snetterton, probably one of the drives of the season, if not the drive of the season. Remember, he started the race in reverse and then took the lead, spun, fell down to 9th, and came back and beat on pace both Marteau and Fournier. They were at an incredible pace, both of them. So let's look at those times, shall we, with 2 minutes left. And I think Marteau has started the evening on the right foot, Austin.
Absolutely. Marteau currently sitting out there provisional pole with 2 minutes to go with 3/10 to the car behind him. So Marteau is currently doing Marteau things right now and just being absolutely dominant up at front. And it's going to be a big push by Hermer, but Hermer, he's got some good pace right now. He went green in sector 1. He's catching up a little bit of traffic here in this sector, so this might hold him up just a little bit unless it get out of the way. And there goes Hermer's chance to go for it, because he ends up in the grass and the wall with that lapped car, not really giving him the room to operate. Tobias went purple in sector 2, went purple in sector 5, went green in sector 3. He is on a big flyer right now. 1 corner to go for Tobias Osling. Can he take pole position, or at least get onto the front row with this? Down the front straight he goes, across the line. He does improve on his time, to get second place, but does not close that gap to Marteau. Only closes down by 2/10. Jumps up into second place. What a lap by Tobias right there. 2 purple sectors to catch up to that front row right there.
And Austin,
Andrea, yeah.
Austin, yeah, Andrea Catalani, new name from Italy. I'm not very familiar with him. He's now on he's just driving around, so this is not a fast lap for him. I assume it's still there. Of course, this is the track of the famous landmine coming out of the final corner. I remember last time we were here, it was quite the trap for these drivers.
Absolutely, and you know, Andrea Catalini, he's been on iRacing for a while. You know, 15 wins on the 15 wins on the roadside. So not a lot of wins out there, but you know, he's been very consistent in iRacing, and you know, he's got a very good iRating, and you know, he's got some pace out there, and currently sitting in P8 right now.
Look at that.
Adam Talisman. Aww.
Austin, what are those?
What? I believe those are hearts.
And that's the common mistake that everyone makes, but for once a football manager told me, by managing in the Netherlands, that is actually the flag of a region called Frisia, and if I'm not mistaken, those are flowers.
Those are flowers.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go and question my life. I'll see you
They
next
are
week.
sorry, they are leaves. Apologies,
Leaves.
not
They're
flowers.
leaves. Okay, I'm still going to see you next week. I'm going to go and purge my mind of everything I know. Okay, bye.
Football club in question, of course, is SC Erenven, very famous club. Famous. I mean, if you know your football, it's a decently famous club, and yeah, they have not only their crest is like that, but also they have that pattern on the shirt, which makes them quite unique. So Adam Talsma and the rest of the Metallica car teams, they went corporate for the final few rounds, for the past few rounds, so it didn't really work well for them. So now they are paying homage to the Netherlands with this beautiful rear wing design.
All right, that makes more sense. But yes, it's glad. I'm really happy to see people paying their respects to the home country. You know, country-specific liveries. I really like to see more of. Where's the next week? I would really like to see more of that. But here we are. It's the starting grid here at Zandvoort. QT Marteau started up on pole, followed by Tobias Oslin with Samuel Herbert in third place. Andy Flint, Max Giacchino, Jerome Lamley, and Julio Palico in 7th, followed by Andrea Catalini, Victor Barris, Gavin Petty, Johan Bergeson, Max Bartolotta in 12th, followed by Adam Townsend, Clark Williams, Luciano Lorenzo, Antonio Telles, Lucas Maruk, Philip Lucas, Daryl Governor, Richard Veen, Alex Lado, Nick Carty, Zachary Beeson, and Leonardo O'Cherry in 24th. Behind them is Stuart Millen, Ryan Berry, Mark Mathis, Zoltan Zomoter, Robert Ridgway, Simon Fessy, Craig Lundy, Mohamed Bolik, Reed Dennis, Simon Greenwood, and Carson Weber, followed by Martin Devine in 36th place. Behind them, it is Russell Kirkwood, Kierlin Richie Robinson in 38th, Matthew Garcia, Luis Daluvet, Andrea Santos, Ron Korlak, and Massimo De Laurentiis at the end of our 43-car grid here at Zandvoort. And, you know, the last 3 cars did not put in a lap time, but everybody is all lined up and getting ready to go here at Zandvoort.
Next week is Sebring, so I will see block of concrete on those rear wing if possible.
Yeah, next week, America liveries. Just
blocks of concrete, you know.
Happy. Make me happy. Don't, no, not blocks. Concrete. America. America.
Then we had to Red Bull Ring and the Hungaroring for the final 3 rounds of the championship. But, I mean, we still have 30 laps of action here at Zandvoort in front of us to tackle. And these drivers especially. Here we go.
Here we go. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights and green, green, green. Here we go. And great start for the second row. Also rockets into the lead. What a reaction time by him. Off the line to take the lead immediately. That is Marteau in second place. Hermer's right behind him. Hermer had a good start as well, but Marteau, worst starter out of all of them. They fell back just a little bit side by side behind them. For the fight for fifth, Giacchino and Jerome Manley going side by side with each other, but it is Giacchino around the outside able to make that move work, and it's also leading them into the hairpin right now as everybody is kind of lined up already and getting ready for a very long race here, and a lot of people are still going through the hairpin and really bunching up like a Sunday drive right now, and difference of lines. Marteau really aggressive trying to catch up to Oslin.
Yeah, no reverse start for Olson this time. That was a fantastic jump off the line, and the only position in the top 15 to change out of the start was the first position. So incredible job from Marteau and from Olson, and now Marteau, sorry, under massive pressure from Samuel Hermer. We ran on board with Samuel. He is really looking forward to attack maybe Marteau. Remember, now we have the chicane, and the drivers will enter Arilay and Eichbocht, the final corner with that dreaded landmine on the outside, which was there last season. Hopefully it's not here this season, but I don't think they have removed it.
Oslin went off the track, and there's Marteau getting his nose down to the inside. It's going to be Marteau and Hermer. Hermer's all the way up to the ground. Marteau makes contact with Oslin. They still carry on. 3 wide. Hermer jumps both of them, and he's in the lead. Oh my gosh, how are they not dead from that? Marteau's in on the inside, but it's going to be Oslin around to the outside on Marteau, and Hermer's still up into the lead, but it's Marteau and Oslin up onto the inside. Oslin back into second place, but oh my gosh. Oslin getting into the grass, allowing Hermer to get his nose onto the inside, then to get Marteau's nose onto the inside, then Hermer came onto the inside of both of them. Marteau reacted, Oslin didn't know what was there, and then they made contact. I thought that was going to be all 3 of them out of the race right there, but you know, great car control by all 3 of them to keep, all of them in the race right there. And Hermer's off into the grass right there. Everybody getting a little bit dicey right now. Andy Flint and Max Giacchino are seeing this just like, what the heck is going on? I want a piece of that pie. And speaking of piece of that pie, Jerome Lamley had a great start. He's looking down to the inside of Giacchino. They've been battling from the start, and now Lamley up there in the 5th place. Here comes Giacchino back up in the draft, around to the outside, side by side they go, heading into the chicane arena section, but it's going to be Lamley still up there in 5th place. But yeah, Lamley had a great start as well, but Giacchino fought him off at the first corner, Tarzan, and was able to keep that. But yeah, other than Jerome Lamley and Samuel Hermer, they were the only ones that were able to make positive gains here in this race so far. And speaking of positive gains, Marteau and Oslin jostling for position as well. Marteau took a good look down there, but Marteau right up in that gearbox, and Oslin defending on the inside. A little bit of lockup right there from Hermer. Yeah, our top 3 very exciting. Heck, our top 10 is very exciting to watch right now.
Incredible start race, by the way. Incredible car control by both Olson and Marteau. That contact at high speed on the straight could have had disastrous results. They were both able to live to tell the tale, and now continuing on, still with a shout of the win. But Samuel Hermer, of course, so far has been like those guy in Western movies that robs the bank and runs away smiling while everyone behind them is confused. He took the lead, brave move there, opportunistic move. Now he has to build a gap. It's not going to be easy, of course, with these drivers behind him, these big names. Bartolotta also trying to attack Birgersson there. We have Lorenzo there. We have Fessy and Van Veen also side by side.
And Richard Van Veen losing that spot right there to someone Fessy Veen, also at his home race as well. Gavin Petty holding off Catalani. And here comes Andrea around the outside, heading into Tarzan, late on the brace, getting hold around the outside. They're going to be side by side, middle of the corner. He's towing into that wide line right there, right behind him. Look at that side by side fight. And that's Bergerson and Bartolota. Oh, contact Bergerson!
That corner we've known that in the past is the netcode capital of iRacing, Austin. Remember, we had an F3.5 round a couple of seasons back there, where every time two cars went side by side in that corner, the car on the outside got launched into a tire wall. And in Formula 3 is a bit less prominent because the cars are a bit slower, but still, it is the worst netcode corner in all of iRacing, I think.
Absolutely, and I can guarantee that one. That was not good. Bartolota and Catalini going a little bit slow, stuck on the outside. Now he's got the inside line. And there's Victor Barris trying to hold it around to the outside. Look at that switchback move by Barris. Barris got a good run. He's back onto the side wheel right there, side by side. They're going to go. Catalini is going to have that inside line heading into the Audi complex. And Barris around the outside gets right there. Big lockup by Catalini. He's feeling that pressure right there. Andy Flint feeling pressure by Lamley. Lamley coming up through the pack right there. You know, he did this in the future, in previous round as well. Lamley, he just loves racing around here, and now he's up onto the inside, heading into Tarzan corner. And you know, Jerome Lamley very fast around here. Wide line by Flint, trying to get it off the exits, not going to get it. Lamley up in the 4th place, and you know, I was talking about Lamley and you know, previous rounds. Not the best qualifier, but great in race performer. And would you like to know more? Join the iGPFun Discord. The link is right there, and it's also going to be in our YouTube chat as well. But yeah, the Discord is a great place for all these drivers to find out about the series. They watch the race back, the broadcast back, and laugh at jokes and have a good time watching the race back. And you know, they provide hints for setups and track guides as well. So if you want to get better in the F3 series and just enjoy this car and find a nice group to race with, join that Discord right there.
Man, I'm expecting that my bit of trivia from earlier will get massive appraisal by the drivers when they watch the race later. Both the Metallic car drivers and the Dutch drivers in the championship, you know. Because
for those that only care about football.
I mean, that was an obscure piece of trivia, football or not. Let me tell you that.
Very obscure. I didn't even know that existed. And no, your explanation made it make more sense to me, even though I still just like whatever. 3-car fight right here. Barris holding off Catalini, and Catalini's trying to go around the outside. Not there, but look at Adam Talsma is on the inside lines, not going to go make a move heading into netcode capital of the world. Catalini, big lockup heading to the hairpins. We ride on board of Talsma, currently sitting in 12th place in this fight for 10th.
This is the most beautiful portion of the track. It's amazing. I like to call it the roller coaster section because it's basically riding on a roller coaster, up down, and then you come here after Masters box into the more you know, slow section of the racetrack. On board for a second with Adam Talsma there. So it's ebbing and flowing here at the front. Last lap it seemed like Olson was going to put an attack on Ermer. Now it's Olson himself has looked in the mirror because Marteau is getting closer and closer. So it is again ebbing and flowing, and the situation remains the same, which means that Ermer has the advantage, but it's a very slim one, and you can see he's trying to break the draft on the front stretch, trying to get rid of both Olson and Marteau, with the Dutch driver getting the fastest lap of the race, but that is easier said than done.
Yeah, easier said than done indeed. We saw Marteau take a look right there on Oslin, but it's not going to go for a move. You know, top three within 6/10 of each other. This is a very competitive fight right now. Hermer, Austin, and Marteau, all of them are on equal level ground. And Marteau, I think he's taking the cautious approach right here, letting Austin and Marteau fight each other. And, you know, if they make a mistake, he's going to get a freebie out of that. And I think he's just biding his time. Philip Lucas getting very aggressive through the roller coaster section right there, riding on that gearbox of Luciano Lorenzo, looking off his inside. There's no room to really try that right there, but, you know, taking a much more insider look right there. Hits the apex for Lucas. Lorenzo taking that defensive line, going a little bit wide, setting himself up for that inside line, bears himself on the apex right there. It's not going to be an opportunity for Lucas to make that switch now. He's in that draft. He's going to look up onto the inside. There comes Lucas. Here comes Lucas, sending it up onto the inside. Hops over the curb and sits down in 13th. Goes a little bit wide for that better exit, but Philip Lucas, oh my gosh, what a wild send that was.
Great pass there. Now behind them it's Williams, Tony Jimenez and Lucas Maruk, all three of them not only bunched together but also closing in on these dueling drivers in front of them. Here comes Giacchino and Flint, with Giacchino trying to grab the position. Side by side, careful. You see there, Flint took a very wide and safe line.
Yeah, Flint tried to save that one right there, but it wasn't going to be there. But Julio Pico is watching Andy Flint, and Andy Flint, you know, amazing qualifying session, but, you know, in the race he just fell off the pace right now, and he's trying to stay with Giacchino, but after he was passed by Lamley, you know, his paces went kind of off the cliff.
So we are on board with it. Yeah.
Hunting down Andy Flint for 6th place.
Yeah, on board with Julio, as he has a great view of this fight, but fights all over the field as per usual. Here is Tony Jimenez having an argument with Clark Williams. We were looking at these three drivers with Lucas Maruk with them just a few seconds ago. Seems like a good run for Tony. Will he force the issue at the chicane?
Here he goes. On the inside this time, not really going to send it into that chicane. You know, he's got the inside line. The other car has to, you know, make that corner. So if you really want to send one in the braking zone, you want to send it around the outside right there. Set yourself up for that apex. And look at that. Speaking of the apex, look at now the inside. There's contact between Hermer and Oslin make contact. Marteau jumps up into 2nd place, heading into netcode corner. Marteau sneaks his way down the inside of Hermer, and I don't think Hermer's going to be happy about that. Little bit of netcode contact right there. Let's take an instant replay. Here comes Oslin coming down that straight. He's got a great run, looking up onto the inside line right here. Hard onto the brakes they go. He left the door open. There was a big netcode right there.
I don't know. We've seen. I have to say this now because might be some recency bias on my part. So take it with a pinch of salt. We are humans and our minds work in funny ways to confirm what we think. But last few weeks,
the car got jumped.
Last few weeks on iRacing, I've seen a lot of questionable netcodes, especially with open wheelers. That they've always been a thing. But last few weeks they seem to be a bit more prevalent for some reason.
Yeah, I must say the car did take a jump, a little bit, a aggressive turn right, so it didn't look like a gradual loss of traction right there for Samuel Hermer. I think there might have been, there most possibly has been netcode contact between these two. But, we got a car around. That's Max Bartolota.
And he's in a precarious position, to say the least, Austin.
Yeah, we saw this last time this series came here, where at the start, car got wide, and, ended up right there. And then it was an unsafe rejoin! Oh, no. They're still crashing. Max Giacchino made contact with another car. And, an unsafe rejoin. Didn't want to be falling down the field, and he's going to tow out right there. Right as we cut away, there was a car that came around the outside, and Max went onto the outside. He made contact, and the car that contact he made with, both of them ending with damage. And here's what happened. There's the first contact, and there's a second contact right there. And be glad they're a little bit spread out, but oh, that is so unfortunate for all three of those drivers right there.
So how did this happen?
I believe dipped the wheel on the outside line.
Is he the first victim of the landmine?
No, he's just a victim of the gravel trap around the outside. Dipped the wheel out there, went spinning around, and ended up in a place where you don't want to go. And you know, he at first was doing the right practice of not coming on the track, but then when he did, he just couldn't judge it right, and unfortunately came out in traffic right there.
Here's an interesting comparison.
Yeah, Hermer and Lamley. You see this front group just on another level of pace, and Hermer getting onto the brakes a lot, locking up. But, you know, after that mistake by Hermer and contact with Oslin, Jerome Lamley is slowly, you know, I would say even with the pace with these top three. That graph does show a little bit of gaining here and there, but and that massive gain. But if you just look at the marginalized pace between them, I think Lamley might catch these leaders right here. And if they continue fighting, it might become a 4-car fight for the lead. They are approaching lap car right. It's a little bit of traffic as well.
And Austin, already 1/3 of the race has come and gone, and we're having a lot of fun. Clark Williams is not.
Oh, oof, into the wall. That's going to be his race. They do have faster pairs, but you know, it's going to be the end of his competitive race right here. Does he lose the back end right here?
Oh, no, we had a problem. Of course, as we were looking at the replay. Oh no!
Oh no!
Who's that
that's
behind?
Lamley and that's Lamley and Oslin. Lamley came out of nowhere, made contact with Oslin, and Lamley ending up sideways.
So I can imagine Olson had a mistake and spun in front of him, because there is no other explanation.
Well, he was the leader right here, and I think he might have took a defensive line heading into this corner.
Oh,
and
no!
Always spun on corner entry, bounced over, came across, and nowhere for Lamley to go. And oh no! Big contact right there, and you know, Oslin's car is really damaged as well, but Jerome Lamley, oh, the most unlucky spot. You know, he thought that if something happened, he could dodge it. You can see the car spinning, so he goes onto the inside, but no, 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 no. Oh. That is the most unfortunate thing. But, you know, if you're from the Netherlands right here and you're cheering for hometown drivers, you are going insane at that situation. QT Marteau is currently your race leader, and he's going to try to do everything he can to, well, he doesn't have anyone in front of him now to really hold him up. He's going to put all cards on the table, full out pace, and try to pull away from Samuel Hermer right here.
You know, if this was a 2021 game slash simulator with, you know, ray tracing and state-of-the-art graphics, we'd have orange smoke bombs going on in the stands. We have to, you know, fill in the gap with the most powerful graphics card ever created, as Sheldon Cooper once said, our imagination.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to just create a smoke graphic. Just, oh. Netherlands driver overtake.
Oh dear.
And Palico, oh, that's a wheel missing. Julio Palico is out of this race. That is some massive contact right there. What's happened here?
He was sitting pretty in a decent position in the top 5.
He got to the grass of the braking zone and bam! Oh, right in front of Hermer too. Oh wait, that wasn't Hermer, was it?
No, that was Petty.
Petty.
You can see his perspective. Thank you for giving us the idea, Austin.
Yeah, Gavin Petty, he had a great look at this, but, you know, while happening for this, he sees this happening, he says, oh, no. And he actually locked up his wheel to avoid that. But, yeah, took avoiding action right there. That closed the gap up to Barris behind him. And they might start battling very soon, as Max Luciano Lorenzo and Philip Lucas are in the fight as well. Robert Ridgway is going a little bit slower on the inside, as that's Gerald Governor around the outside. Makes that move. New fastest lap for Marteau, 128.3. Hey, look at the background. That's Richard Van Veen trying to look up onto the inside and make a move on Robert Ridgway. Here comes Lorenzo around the outside. Not going to make it happen at Tarzan corner. Looks for a little bit of a switchback right now, but he's riding that gearbox right now. Speaking of riding the gearbox, Mark Mathis. And that is Mohamed Bohalik. Bohalik up onto the inside and up into the 19th. Fantastic move right there. He did everything perfectly that he needs to do. So they continue racing through the roller coaster right now. We're closing in on halfway into this race. 20 fantastic minutes of racing has been brought to y'all. And hey, we still got another fantastic half. Oh, that's a crash. That's a 26 of Richie Robertson spinning right there. And oh, that's the second time that we've seen a car spin around in that section.
Yeah, it's usual Zandvoort. It's Philip Lucas. Was a little bit wide.
He
a
luckily
nice
didn't
rejoin.
get affected.
I mean, but we're seeing typical Zandvoort. The trouble spots are the same year after year, and the drivers, you know, keep getting caught out by this treacherous racetrack. Remember, this is the previous version of Zandvoort, not the one that we have in real life now. This was pre, let's say, 2020 works to accommodate F1. And while it's
pre-bank.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's. Don't get me wrong, the track is still very beautiful and very challenging, but this is much more raw compared to the, let's say, quote-unquote grade 1 experience we have right now. So mistakes are paid dearly. There is and then there is a, you know, the landmine there on the outside of the final corner and all that nice stuff. The incredibly tricky pit entrance, which shouldn't play a factor today because, of course, we don't have pit stops in this race, at least not mandatory pit stops. As Reed Dennis has a little bit of a spin, and Alex Sevillano, remember him from last week. He had a good race in his debut at Spa. But in front of everyone, it's still Thiago Marteau, and he's got 1.5 seconds over Ermer, and 28.23 is the fastest lap of the race. He's pulling away right now, getting into that consistent pace, quick pace that he's known for when he's in the lead. He rarely gives it up. He rarely puts himself in a position to be challenged when he's at the front, and he's doing just that tonight, Austin, after the trouble in front of him, the big crash that we had a few laps ago. He's been able to get back to the lead, pull away. Also Nellamy, unfortunately, could have been a fantastic four-way fight for the victory, but instead that was all Marteau needed to start pulling away, and so he did.
Absolutely, and you know, it was all Marteau needed. You know, Oslin and Hermer were around it, but when he had that opportunity to go into the lead, you know, everything just clicked into place. And you know, I think when he saw that little incident ahead of him, the little I got in trouble for referencing F1 last time, so I'm not going to do it. But you know, a little bit of a fist bump happened.
Petty and
I think he
Varys.
did a little bit of a fist bump in the cockpit. Marteau did.
Fight for 5th place between these two drivers, and Petty is up 5 places with Victor Varys up 3 places. Behind them is the debutant Andrea Catalani. He's having a fantastic race in his debut. Started 8th, now in 7th.
Very aggressive on that front left wheel, heading into that hairpin. Another lockup by Catalani.
Yeah, I see a lot of drivers lock the front left, and maybe the car gets a little bit, I wouldn't say airborne. It's like the wheel is not touching sometimes when they brake very aggressively
the track
there.
does drop away. The track does drop away from them. So, you know, all the forces on the right-hand side of the car, it is a little bit cambered. And so with them turning a little bit, it can drop away from you. And, you know, you don't have a lot of wheel contact. So, yeah, it might be that. They might have a very stiff suspension. And that just might be a whole circumstance. It is a very tricky corner to get right without locking up the brakes, though. It's Victor Barris right behind Petty. He's in that draft. Needs to get a little bit closer if he wants to get a little bit more ambitious for a move right here. But he's going to be getting a lot of time right now. Comparison of times on our timing score. You can see just so balanced between them, but he's got that inside line. Petty going on that wide line for that exit, heading into one of my favorite parts of the track. You know, the roller coaster always has the lift hill part, and this is where the roller coaster starts for me. Into that hairpin, up the hill, down the hill. Track banks to the right, banks to the left, and banks to the right again, and it just feels like you're doing the old Rolling Stone snake. The old Mick Jagger snake. Let me tell you, it's just a lot of fun with that. I love this place.
It's a fantastic racetrack. I mean, more so in this version. I think I really like it. It has the problem that even in this version, it is a bit troublesome to make overtakes with the bigger cars. But the iGPFun guys, of course, don't have these problems. They can make a great race happen at Yas Marina. These guys, so.
Absolutely, and you know, these guys are having a lot of fun. These cars are very small, but very effective around here, and you know, the F3 Masters are always a well, F3 traditional race. Does the F3 Masters still happen at Zandvoort?
No, it's been 4-5 years already. Basically, they had the problem that this track was in the calendar of the F3 European Series, no? And there was a stupid rule that you couldn't have a non-championship round on a track that also had a championship round, or the fact that basically you couldn't drive or test. It was something along these lines. So they had to. In the end, they got away that was a standalone event, basically, no? So they couldn't even put it on the calendar, and they made their own version of the F3 Masters at Pau in France at the street circuit. And then, of course, when the series became the world champ, you know, supporting F1 as Zachary Bison is around, that was the end of it. I'm a bit foggy on the story, but I remember it being like that. And of course, now not even Macau is F3 anymore, because F3 has now become an exclusively FIA support, F1 support series, so you don't have F3 anywhere in the world anymore apart from that. So the Macau Grand Prix, which is back this season, even though the field is largely composed of local drivers, will be using F4, which is a sensible decision in my opinion.
And I gotta say, as somebody, Veras looking up the inside, surprise move. He's closing in on Petty for a while. Uses all the track off the exit, but Victor Barris up into 5th. But yeah, you know, let me tell you, F4 cars are so fun. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to drive an F4 car. I recently had an opportunity to drive an F4 car around Circuit of the Americas, and let me tell you, those cars, they don't feature a lot of aero right now, and I'm using the American F4 car as an example. You know, Honda Civic engine. It's very light, very simple car, not a lot of aero, very minimum aero, and let me tell you, these cars are very welcoming to drive. I would describe it as a go-kart souped up, but the way that these F4 cars were made, they're very welcoming to all drivers. So, you know, if you want, you can drive an F4 car immediately after just a little bit of sim experience. And when I say sim experience, you know, with the USF 2000 on iRacing, just that is very similar to what an F4 car is without the grid.
I didn't had the chance to drive it, but I can tell you that one of the scariest experiences, probably the scariest thing I've done as a marshal, was having a field of 34 Italian F4s coming at me in changeable weather in Vallelunga a few years ago in my first year as a marshal, as one leg is having an issue and is letting other cars by.
Rear wing damage.
And it was the last race of the day. It was sun in the sky, but the track was flooded, so you had all sorts of tires. And coming out into the first true braking area at Vallelunga after the straight and the first corner, which is flat out, the second or third car in line of a 34 car grid, after a safety car restart, spun in front of the field just as I was in the marshalling post there. And in my head I thought, okay, we are going home at 11 p.m. tonight. Because I thought we were going to have to recover debris from all. Nobody hit him. I have no idea how that happened.
I don't know who was more scared, your sleep schedule or the driver. But yeah, F4 cars are fun.
Also, I have a bit of an F4 car sitting behind me, an Italian F4 in BWT colors, from the previous year, the year before that I marshaled. A friend of mine very gently picked up a bit of the side pod of that car, and I have it as a trophy, like a hunting trophy on my wall behind me.
Is it like my jar of collected Pirelli marbles after each F1 Grand Prix?
You know, it's BWT livered, so to the untrained eye, it seems that I have a bit of an F1 car in my of a Force India in my room, but no, it's F4.
Nice.
Victor Varis and Gavin Petty are following each other in this as they enter the Masters box. Still, these two drivers have been very close to each other for the past few laps. This is a battle that we are following. We also have Luciano Lorenzo and Antonio Jimenez with Lucas behind them. That is not the proper racing lineup at this time. I think it is time for Philippe. A bit suspension trouble, front left. Yeah, this time he wasn't so lucky.
Yeah, the front left is affected right there. We should be seeing a little bit of a crab down the straight. Not the biggest crab, but it is affecting it.
Also, you have fun in the chat that says hello, as we have Ridgeway and Van Veen also in another fight in the field.
Hi Jay, hi Max, I know both of you.
And no more trouble. Oh, a massive shunt for Lennart Cherry. Unlucky.
Unfortunately, Dale Earnhardt and Greg West, a audience to that crash right in front of them.
It's too bad we don't have
that's a very down the inside, and that was another car, and he made contact, put the wheel out of control, hard into the wall.
That was Richie Robinson, if memory serves me right.
The 26 car, it is Richie Robertson.
So he fell victim of the landmine.
The landmine's on the outside of the track though, but bam! And the landmine punches the car up into the air. What's getting them is they're just dipping a wheel onto the outside.
Yeah, but once you get outside and then you hit the landmine, you are out of control. That is the problem,
you are
basically. So the car gets spit back onto the track, no? So.
Yeah, I just watched the YouTube replay. yeah, the back end of his car, when he went off of the gravel trap and onto the grass, he got launched up into the air right there. So yeah, you were right.
No, like Don Cherry once said, I'm never wrong. No, I'm not Don Cherry. Don Cherry is never wrong.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Canadian drivers will appreciate his other semi-obscure reference for a European.
Hey, obscure reference is amazing right now. Speaking of amazing, okay, I'm not going to go sports car talk anymore. I was going to say, you know how your pride and joy of being on a F1 car with the Honda livery car, where you got to sign your name on it? Marco?
No?
You know, the Honda car where you got to do the sign off?
Ah, yeah, of course. The Honda way back when, yeah, of course.
Yeah, way back when.
You had the name on the Mazda, yeah, of course.
Yes, I did, and they won their final race in that car. And you know, on the rear wing, there's a little star, and that's how I signed my name with the cursive of my name on the background. But yeah, not only my name was on there, but a few people from my sim racing team are also on there as well.
What a fantastic race that was last night, huh?
That was amazing.
A bit sad that the endurance season is over, but of course we are just 2 months away from Daytona, so it's not really over. And
it never really ends.
But can I tell you, I really dig this November Road Atlanta, because that place at night is very fascinating. Landmine.
Fessy, airborne landmine, caught it, and kept on going right there. That is car control to a T. But yeah, wow. Yeah, November Atlanta is pretty cool. It's cold, but cool. Nah, it's both actually. It's both cool and cool. Cool, cold, cool.
I think next year is the last year of the current rule set, and then 2023 will be the new LMDHs. Which,
LMDHs, and this was last year of the GT LM.
Yeah, GTLM,
and so it's GTD Pro.
Yes,
it's now GTD Pro, which you know, I'm gonna be excited for
the Corvette,
you know,
right?
Yes, Corvette. I cried yesterday when that happened.
And the new GTD Corvette, for the first ever factory-backed GT3 from Corvette, is coming in 2024 to fill the void. And
yes.
Corvette
I am not sure. I'm going to be honest. I am not sure how that's going to perform.
I mean, it's better than nothing, and Corvette needs to be in GTD, you know, in my opinion.
Yes, Corvette home is very famous for its GT racing, and you know, I'm excited to see that. But yeah, currently right now the racing has most of the drivers are pulling out a little bit of the gap. The closest fight is actually the one that we're looking at right now, Stuart Mill and Philip Lucas, in the fight for 12th place. And also this one in the fight for 19th, Ridgway and Richard Van Veen. Richard's been trying for this spot for a while. Down the inside into Tarzan corner and pop off that orange smoke right there. Because what a move, and here comes Ridgway off the exit. Is not going to be there though. And yeah, I can tell you the orange smoke is pouring out of the sands right now. What a move by Richard Van Veen. Heading into Tarzan corner, up onto the inside at his home track.
Philip Lucas is continuing, despite ostensibly a broken front left suspension.
It's just a little bit of a tweak. It's not really that massive of a deal. You just have to adjust your steering just slightly. And, you know, if you drive on a formula rim, it's annoying. If you have a little bit of a rounded rim, it's not that bad.
I know, depending on where we look at it, because on some straights it seems like he's holding the steering wheel at an angle. In other places it seems like he's holding the steering wheel straight, so...
Well, the straight that we were just going for through bends to the left. This is the best one. Yeah, It's just slightly to the left. It's looking down the inside though, so suspension damage or not, it's very minor. He feels like to continue on.
On board with Stuart Mill, looking back at Lucas, as Lucas is trying to find a way. Personal best for Flint, Varys and Petty. They are 4th, 5th and 6th. Here we go with the attack. No way through here as we get into Masters Bocht. And in these corners here you just need to... No, this is Masters Bocht, apologies. But anyway, that piece of the racetrack you really need to... Just be careful, live to fight another day, because there is... You need to basically... You either pass in the first corner, make a brave move with the hairpin. You cannot go side by side, of course, in the SS section in there. But if you don't pass there, you need to just work toward building a possible attack either here or again in the first corner. So it's tough when you know you are quicker. It's tough to remain patient for so long. And poor Philip goes around and bull leg. Another driver taking evasive action. So that settles this fight, but this is not over because Ridgeway and Bison. Ridgeway is having a bit of trouble because he got passed by Van Veen, now got passed by Bison, and now he's trying to get back
Ridgeway off the attack.
him.
Yeah, he got him off the exit. There's contact off the exit. And contact as well. And Robert Ridgeway loses the rear wing right there. And I don't think he can believe that. You know, he got a great exit through the hairpin right there. And, you know, they just didn't see. He just didn't notice that he was on his left right there. Had an amazing run. And, you know, just came across the track, tapped him off right there. And then unfortunate circumstances as well. And Robert Ridgeway out of this race. Engine cover off, back of the car off, and the back wing is also off as well. And Zachary Beeson, did he have an incident from that as well? Did he break a rear wheel?
We'll see in a second.
Well, this is a lap before all this.
Yeah, my apologies.
But this time I got... Ooh, so it's the second touch between them because they made contact off the exit right there. But did Beeson get a damage from that move? I really want to know. And here it is. Beeson on the inside, comes onto the outside. Whoop, right there. Did that break his rear wheel? The car looks fine. Oh, it did.
Look how much he's steering. And then
oh
the last second decision. And also I think...
and then he crashed.
Okay, and then he pulls Peter Berryman.
You're not getting paid this week.
I was on commentary for that race, so I still have the, you know, I have the right to joke about it.
Oh my gosh. We have big news for the Apex Racing boys, Apex Racing company as a whole. We just unveiled our Sim Center as Marteau takes that white flag and a new fastest lap of 1:28.091.
You know, Austin, I said this many times. I was, you know, I have the pleasure to be able to chat with the Italian official F3 Esports champion that won the title last season, organized by the Italian Automobile Club. And he told me about the fact that this car, the more you drive during a session, the more it gets into the groove. But at the same time, that only happens if you are respectful of your equipment. And don't overdo it. And so the fact that Marteau is pushing fast laps after 45 minutes of racing means that he has taken care of his equipment, and now the car is basically firing on all cylinders thanks to his great driving. And he also got into a bit of fights today, so I'm not saying that it was a squeaky clean 100% race, but he made the most of it, and now he's basically flying along. This is the best of your car. The fuel load is low, the tires are in temperature, and and more importantly, you see the checker flag already.
Yeah, checker flag is about to be out. 2 corners to go. The air, well, the virtual air should be full of virtual orange smoke, but I'm pretty sure orange smoke is flying wherever Marteau is at as he goes all the way to the inside, then the outside. Celebrates as he takes his home race win. The new fastest lap as well. Hermer comes home in 2nd place. Max Giacchino comes home in 3rd place. Max had a great race here today. Andy Flick comes home in 4th place, sporting a rear wing of the, a local club as well. Victor Perez comes home, taking that top 5 with Gavin Petty right behind him. What a race we had today.
Let me reiterate, that is the logo of a football club which is based on the flag of the region they are based in. So it's mainly the flag of the, it's like, you know, like the Texas flag basically, you know, will be something along those lines.
Ah, state flag. I don't know if states are a thing in other countries.
No, we have regions or you know,
Regions.
principalities. It depends on the country.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In Italy we have regions. In England they have counties, and so on and so forth. Matthew Gracie and Andre Santos as they come around the final corner. We are just waiting on Reed Dennis. There is. This was clearly
good race by him.
Yeah, I think he's running with the spec map of a livery and other livery on top of it.
Oh, somebody didn't delete all their files.
Not me, as he comes home, and that was the last of the running cars. So let's give you the final results.
I think Marteau is about to do a show on the front straight, I believe. He's still driving around, by the way. But yeah, thank you. What a fantastic race we had here as QT Marteau parks it on the front straight and burns it down here at Zandvoort. And he
also destroys everything in the back end of his car because
he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
He cannot contain the excitement. We absolutely. Oh, there's another one, and that was Giacchino.
That was Max.
So yeah, I mean, you know, the drivers are happy, and we are happy for them. Marteau will smile the bigger on that top step of the podium in front of Samuel Hermer and Max Giacchino in your top 3. Andy Flint in front of Victor Barris and Gavin Petty and Re Catalani. Great debut race for him. Finishes 7th in front of Adam Tasman, Luciano Lorenzo and Antonio Teyes. Lucas Marouk was 11th in front of Stuart Miller and Alex Yedo. Philip Lucas was 14th in front of Simon Fessy, Mark Matisse and Simon Greenwood. Richard Van Veen, another home driver, finishes down in 18th with a couple of very nice moves. 19th was Daryl Govender and 20th was Ryan Berry. Matthew Gracie was 21st in front of Andre Santos. Reed Dennis and Zoltan Zomotor, Mohamed Boualeg, Russell Kirkwood, Martin Devine, Zachary Bison. Top 30 ends with Robert Ridgway and Leonard Sheridan. The rest of the drivers, Killen Richie Robinson in 31st in front of Nick Carty, and Jerome Lamy, what could have been for him, in front of Julio Palacio, what could have been for him, in front of Tobias Olsson, what could have been for him. I mean, that's his regret corner in this part of the finishing order. Clark Williams, Max Bartolot, another driver, and other driver that were having a good race. Johan Birgersson, of course. And to round up the proceedings, Craig Landy, Carson Weber, Yves Tovet, Ron Korolak, the unhappy Canadians corner, unfortunately for them, and Massimo De Laurentiis, who finished in last position. These final 3 drivers, Korolak, De Laurentiis and Tovet, did not take the start. So Austin, as I was saying earlier, we have 3 tracks left, 3 races left. After this one we will go to Sebring next week, then it's off to Red Bull Ring, and we round up the season with the first ever visit of IGP Fun at the Hungaroring. What can we expect for these final 3 rounds? Is Marteau back in the driver's seat for the title?
No, absolutely. He's
He is back in the driver's seat for the title and in the shop repairing the back of his car. Quotes, I completely screwed it up, but I couldn't hold my excitement, is what I just got from him in the iGPFun Discord. That is what he just told me. But yeah, he's very excited to be back here. That win meant everything for him. So congratulations to Marto on an amazing win. Sebring is next, and you know, all 3 of our next tracks are completely different from each other. Hungaroring is, well, it's new, it's smooth, it's very tight and twisty. Sebring, bumpy as heck, technical and fast. It's going to be very cool, bouncy on how everyone is tackling that track. And yeah, I'm very excited for the rest of the season. And thank you all for joining us here in the iGPFun Formula 3 series presented by Virtual Racing School here from Zandvoort. I've been joined by Marco Barbanera, and I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.